So what is up, you guys? I'm coming at you here with another video, and today we have a live duel with commentary. I just think it's faster this way if I explain what's going on. And it's me playing Burning Abyss taking on my brother playing Magical Musketeers. Now, the Burning Abyss is a relatively new deck that I've been building, so expect the profile soon, but I'm still learning the ways to play the deck. So as you guys can see, right off the bat, activate that Allure of Darkness. And I believe I banished the Burning Abyss monster who pops a spell or trap. I don't know their names too much yet. I just get the idea of how to play them. I special summoned 2 Burning Abyss monsters. I believe it was Seer and the one who lets you search. I forget their name. And immediately go into Dante. Now, one of the reasons I really go into Burning Abyss is I just feel like graveyard effects are so powerful. And there you guys can see I automatically did Graph, Barbar, and a Phantom Knight, so you guys can see that I am playing the Phantom Knights build. So winning the die roll with this deck is pretty important from what I've noticed, because you don't really have that many offensive plays, but for the most part I won the die roll. So you guys can see I'm searching. I special summon Farfa, and my brother has no hand traps, but he is playing my Magical Musketeer build, so you guys can check that out. He usually plays 6 Samurais, but I feel like for this video it would have been pretty cool to see how the decks play against each other, to see how Magical Musketeers can hit, or how they would fight Burning Abyss, because I see Burning Abyss as a potential like tier 1, tier 2 deck once they get Cherubini. So that's why I wanted to build it. I wanted to learn the deck, so that's what I'll be playing in the future once we get Cherubini. But as you guys can see, off the effect of, I forget who, I had Fiendish Rhino Warrior. No, I had another Farfa, I believe. Yeah, I forget who's the one that lets you add. Then it's my brother's turn, the one during the end phase. So normal summons Kid Braves, activate Desperado, targets my Farfa. So Farfa hits to the grave, and as soon as he hits the grave, his effect activates, or you get to banish 1 face-up card on the field. I target Magical Musketeer Kid Brave, so he is banished till the end phase. So my brother's left with no other choice, since Magical Musketeers are so reliant on that first normal summon, to just banish them. He immediately, I believe, has no other plays with this, so he passes turn. I draw. Kid Brave returns from the effect of, I forget whose it is. Let me see if I can pull him up so I can check him out. So yeah, there we have Dante still in defense. And I set 1 Fog Blade. Now I didn't really realize that that you really don't play back row with Burning Abyss, but I did want to play like the Phantom Knight side, because I feel it is very like resourceful. Like banishing the Phantom Knights from the graveyard to add is pretty good. So then I activate Dante's effect, detach Seer, and I special summon, I believe was Farfa, so he blows himself up, and I get to send again the Kid Brave banished until the end phase, and that was pretty easy. So I basically do some damage, 25 with Dante and 1000 with the Burning Abyss with the PK Fire monster, with the Phantom Knights monsters. So basically I just still have that set. Fog Blade and pass turn, and let's see what he does. I believe he normal summons Magical Musketeer Doc. He's thinking of his plays. He's relatively new at the deck, so he's still learning how to play it. I just love the way Magical Musketeers play. So much negation, so many ways to play it. Is just good. So he activates Steady Hands, doubles Kid Braves, discard 1 Magical Musket card to draw 2, and I believe he discarded Last Stand. So he drew into the dock, so he normal summons the dock. And he's just thinking. Yeah, and this is where he misplays. He activates Foolish Barrel Goods under the dock, but he doesn't understand how it works, and I didn't want to explain it to him right there at that moment, not to just generate advantage, but I just believe that you learn how to play better once you've like gone through the motions of the deck. But what he should have done in this instant is, okay, he activates Foolish Barrel Goods under the dock, he sends whatever Magical Musket card he needs. Most of the time I think it would be Desperado, right? Or like in this situation I'd go for Desperado, so I send it with Foolish Barrel Goods, and then I'd be able to add it back with Doc's effect, because it is a separate chain link. So that's pretty important to know. But as you guys can see, he activates Monster Reborn, brings back Kid Brave, and I believe he already activated Magical Musketeer Kid Brave's effect and Doc, so he can't activate any. Oh, he didn't activate Docs, I'm sorry. but he attacks with Kid Brave, who's at 32, does 3,000 damage, attacks some more, and this ended up leaving me like with 4,200, because the cloak is at 800 and he does 3,000 damage because boots is at 200. And yeah, he went in for some pretty good damage. So you guys can see Magical Musketeers can come back pretty well. And this is where I make a misplay. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to special summon that Farfa, because you can't if you have a field like a set back row. So that was my mistake, and I think that's what cost him the duel, because I went into Ling 3 Deco Talker. Now if you guys are wondering why we shared, it's because both of these decks are mine and I can't afford a Deco Talker to put in each deck. So we came to the agreement that okay, you can use my extra deck and I can use yours, because basically half of my extra deck is on Magical Muskets because they are rank 3s, and the other half, the Burning Abyss half, is with my Burning Abyss deck, of course. So basically I link 3, so I activate Dante's effect, I get Farfa's effect, and I get the Fiendish Rhino's effect. So I resolve Dante's first, adding the Burning Abyss from my graveyard to my hand. Then I believe I go for Farfa's, where I banish the Kid Brave again, and Fiendish Rhino Warrior, where I get to add one Fiend Warrior, one Fiend monster, I believe. So I forget who I added there, but you guys are about to see it. But for the most part, yeah, that was kind of a misplay on my half. This is like my second time playing with the deck, so I'm still kind of learning the ins and outs. So what happens here, I pretty much attack with Decode Talker into Kid Brave, dealing some massive damage, because Decode Talker again gains 500 attack for each monster it points to. So again, he's at 40, I'm at 4,200, he's at 3,300. He draws, and basically his Kid Brave comes back from that Farfa. So now he has 2. And one of the things I didn't understand he didn't do is, I don't know if he didn't check his extra deck correctly, but he could have went into Acid Golem at this point and basically just ran over that Decode Talker. But I did have the Fog Blade, so I could have probably protected the Decode and still would have done some damage. But again, Acid Golem as a rank 3 is so damn strong. So that's one, if you have like a rank 3 pool, that's one I always recommend, because even though it does have that burn damage, most of the time it won't live for that long. So it's pretty cool. But at this point, I believe I banish Cloak to add a Phantom Knights monster, and I add, I believe it was Boots. Yeah, I add Boots. So I shuffle the deck, and at this point I was thinking, okay, I can go into Breaksword because I can normal summon Boots and then special summon the other Boots that I have in my hand, and that's exactly what I do. So special summon Boots, make Phantom Knights of Fog, Breaksword, I believe. Yeah, Phantom Knights of Breaksword, which is such a damn good card on the Phantom Knight like part of the deck, because he can pretty much blow himself up, and you special summon those 2 Phantom Knights you just destroyed, like that were attached to him, banish one of them, and basically make Dark Rebellion, Dark Requiem XYZ Dragon, who just wrecks. That card is just so strong. But at this point, I basically beat over those 2 Magical Musketeers, and I'm in a really good standing, which I shouldn't have been in because that Farfa, guys. I am so sorry. I feel like I cheated my brother, but I should have activated that Fog Blade a long time ago. I was actually gonna activate it on the Dante, and then it was gonna blow itself up. So that it just had a brain fart there. But point is, he normal summons Starfire. I hit him with the Solemn Warning. He activates last time, and then we get into a small debate where, since Starfire was never summoned, basically because I negated it, I didn't know if he could have last stand. So let me know what you think, if that was an actual play, like if that was an actual wrong of mine. But point is, he pretty much scoops it up. I would have just attacked him next turn and